Hey guys, so in this presentation, we're going to go over something very important as a CEO or as an owner of a company that sometimes don't really consider and don't put too much importance at the beginning. And I had a recent conversation with a very new business owner that this was going to be some bullshit. Like having this specific thing set up from the very beginning was some sort of bullshit because you go into a company and you're like, yeah, you know what? I'm not going to care about this. I'm going to present to you here exactly what I mean. So this is very important topic, all right? So in order for you to have a successful business, in order for you to actually have your employees coming in, being able to hire great employees, grow your business, you have to have this as an understanding. Why, what, who, how, and when. These are the essential particles, elements of what makes up a true organization, a true company. And it makes you a great CEO. It makes you a great COO. So we're going to go over this. Okay. And Remote Latinos presents to you this in order for you to have a great hire as a remote Latino client, where you're going to hire people from Latin America, virtual employees, remote workers. Okay. Now, what are the essentials before we continue growing a company or just to start up a company? I told you about my story with the guy that said that whenever he came into the company he was working with, I thought all of that was bullshit. And essentially, here's how we see it. This graphics actually tells us about very essential parts. These are four. The mission, the vision, the values, and the goals. And each one actually pushes each other. Mission, it tells us why do we exist. So whenever you start your company and if you read a book called Start With Why, it's going to help you really like get this together using the golden circle. But why do we exist? What's the entire concept of why do we exist as a company? What is that North Star? All right. And that North Star, you're going to paint it to your employees. Now, this is not what you want to do with a company, like whether you want to sell it or whatever. This is what you're going to paint to your employees, that picture, that North Star, that it's going to also say to every single one of your clients why you're doing what you're doing. It's something bigger than just making money. It's something that potentially is going to completely just make people believe in your company so good. It's going to make people believe in your company that they're going to continuously approach you and start working with you just because of this belief. Imagine of a company that has the ability to change the world or a space or an industry because of their why, of their belief. Their customers are always going to be loyal to them, even if there is competition out there, because they are just looking to explain the how. So having a why is crucial, and this is the mission of your company. So why do we exist? This is the fundamental purpose of your company. So for example, for Hustle Media, the entire mission is we want to help 2,000 real estate investors. First of all, is make smart decisions rather than just relying on hustle, but making sure that they have a way to shift their business. So we're going to help them shift their business in a way that they can expand, grow with digital marketing systems and people. So we're going to help them shift the way that they do their business with digital marketing systems and people. And that means we're going to have a certain specific number and a certain specific thing that we want to accomplish. And I mean, the why we want to accomplish things. We want to make sure that real estate investors have a fast, reliable, easy method of getting deals and people. Okay. Now, that clarifies the priorities and sharpens the focus for your employees to ultimately understand. The next one is the vision. So that's the what. What must our school become to accomplish on our purpose, right? not our school, but our company, our organization, our agency, whatever. I took this from another graphic. So this is a compelling future, right? Um, so we must become the best real estate agency in the world that provides digital marketing systems and people, right? And we become the person, the company, the individual, the organization that provides fast, easy access to online marketing deals and people. Okay. Now, the values. This is one of the most important things. How we're going to approach this? How must we behave to achieve our vision? And this is a collective commitment between you as a founder or founders and your team members, especially leaders, right? And this is ultimately what guides behavior in your organization and how we're going to approach everything from responding to an email, to delivering on results, to doing the sales, to making sure that we handle an issue or we handle wins, and how we praise and reward, how we handle marketing material, all of it, how we handle the relationships inside of our company. All right. The values, right? Now, the goals is another it's another thing that how we will mark our progress. These are goals, these are targets, these are timelines. It establishes priorities, but we're gonna go over mission, vision, and values. Okay. So why you guys should actually listen to this and then why is it so important? First of all, companies that master this will have ultimately better hiring. If you're going to hire from Remote Latinos or from any other recruitment place, okay? Any other company, just think about if you don't have a way for your employees or your future employees to actually see how they're going to win in your organization, and how they see themselves in the future, you're not going to have A players. People will last longer in the company if they know what's the North Star, what's the mission, what the company believes in, what are the core values, what you're exactly looking for from them. And if the core values and the culture is matched, you're going to find those rock stars come automatically like a magnet. And the hires will be better hires and rock stars will come. So hiring the wrong people will pull you back maybe a month, 5 months, or even a year, depending on the organization role. So depending on the role of that person, it's going to pull you back 1 month, 5 months, 1 year. Imagine hiring a wrong closer that you have spent all this time, but they don't come in and don't understand the core values. They don't know the mission of the company. They don't understand why we do what we do. They come in and try to always, let's say, overpromise everything, try to sell everyone and their mother. They're not bringing in the right individuals. They're not playing nice. They're not doing what they're supposed to do. They're not following the systems. You spend a month already training them and for nothing. Training them and giving them the chance to close sales. 5 months, maybe this is an operations manager. Maybe this is someone in the leadership department. And the same thing happens. Now you have to let them go or they leave themselves. 5 months, you're out, okay? The same thing for, let's say, a year, CEOs, directors, presidents, whatever. Plus, it can cost you up to 15 times their annual salary in revenue if you don't do a right hire. So this will increase productivity, empowering leaders to generate 2.1 times output from their teams. Now, this also is going to give your team and your employees loyalty. You're going to receive more loyalty from them because ultimately you're going to understand why they are where they are, why you appreciate them being in there. The core values are followed and they have a North Star to follow. This is what every company needs. Why would they sacrifice and help your company forever? Not because they want to make you money, but because there is something else out there that they also are going to pursue because it's also going to help them make more money, grow in their career, grow in their life, help them in their personal and professional life. Okay. People want to have and get inspired by a purpose and have core values to follow. So another thing is that sometimes you're gonna understand that it's very hard to fire, regardless of whether you have fired one person or 50 people or 100 people. It's always going to be uncomfortable and it's going to be unpredictable. You don't know how these people are going to behave ultimately, and it's always going to be something that you have to do. But what if you are firing for so many times consecutively? All right, what if it's back to back? There's a problem right there because you're not doing the right hiring. So it's gonna be hard if you have to fire so many people because you're not doing the right hiring. So some companies don't do this year one, and it may be too late on year three already because, hey, you know what? You've built a company without core values, without the proper organization, without the proper expectations, without a proper North Star, without the proper mission, without the proper way of the behavior. So here's the first thing that we're going to cover. The first thing is creating and enhancing your vision, like a true CEO and COO. So creating and enhancing your vision is one of the biggest things you have to do. Here's the vision that you gotta be able to have. So the vision is the why. Why should people, your employees, show up when things get hard? Just think about it. Why should they show up when things get hard? Why should they work harder? Why turning down an offer at another company with a higher salary and staying in your company? Why should they do it? Why give your best performance instead of the minimum accepted standard? There is absolute reasons why employees need to understand why they should be going through all of this. If you think about it, it will be a hassle for the employee. So why should employees do this? Well, I got news for you. No one wants to make you money. No one really cares about making you money. They care about themselves. They care about something better, a purpose, their own purpose, and they will believe in something if you make them believe that whatever work they're doing, it has a true purpose. So what does the work would look like if your company grows to its fullest potential and highest potential? So what would that look like for your employees? What would be that North Star? Did you know that Microsoft, whenever it was founded, they wanted for every single desk on every home to have a computer? Or LinkedIn, to create an economic opportunity for every member of the global workforce? For example, Hustle Media wants investors connecting with motivated sellers and off-market deals and grow their business through scalable online marketing systems and people. So why they should actually care and what would the world look like if your company grows? That's what people will push for and work in your organization and prefer to work on your organization and create loyalty because of those things. So what will be the mission? What's something that will create a perfect mission for your company? So what will your company do in order to bring about your vision? Let's say, for example, Tesla. Did you know that Tesla wanted to accelerate the world's transition to sustainable energy, or making sure that they have a way to create electrical energy into transportation, going to another planet, going to space, and using the best car in the world to do that? So that's their mission. Patagonia, which is another company. So did you know that Patagonia built the best product, caused no unnecessary harm, use business to inspire and implement solutions to the environmental crisis? And for example, Hustle Media is that we want to help 2,000 real estate investors scale their business through smart inbound marketing and systems. We also want to do that with people. But we have the mission of helping 2,000 real estate investors, and we have a number to do that right now. And as we grow, that thing will change. So the other thing is creating and enhancing your core values. This is highly important whenever you have a scorecard and you want to actually hire your best employees and the best A players. You want to find them and you want to set that core value for people to actually know what type of culture it's in there. Creating your core values, it means your who. Don't create more than 10 core values. Keep it very simple. If you can keep it to 5, that's great. Build it based on who you are, not who you think you are. Make your team tell you the truth. So for instance, you're going to have your team leaders or your team members tell you exactly who you guys are. Sometimes we think that we know who we are and who we know we think who we are, right? But in reality is that other people see exactly who we are, and we need that feedback from the outside in order to know that. So you got to be creative and fun about it. You don't have to go to the boring corporate route of being like, hey, respect, integrity, balance, blah, blah, blah. Like, what the hell does that even mean? In order to create great core values, you have to, especially in a startup, you have to make it very clear, fun, and easy to digest. So what does Hustle Media have as a core value, for example? Do not cheat and copy this, but this is an example. Be radically obsessed with your client. And our client for us in Hustle Media is our team is your client too. Our clients that we generate results to, and our team internally is our client. We're radically obsessed. 2, we gotta compete with your own potential. 3, be proud of yourself with our community. 4, do things with passion. And 5, attitude is everything. Those are our top 5 core values inside of our organization. That's as an example. So this is something that you have to understand. And we also learned this from Jana Lee from the Ops Academy about creating your core values. This is an assignment that you got to do. If you have core values, but they're shitty, or core values that need reinforcement, go back and you're going to create your core values where you're going to take about 1 or 2 hours. You're going to book about 1 or 2 hours with your team, and you're going to do it in different stages. Stage number 1 is you're going to pre-frame what's going to happen ahead of time. You're going to tell people what's the agenda, what we're going to accomplish, what we're going to try to accomplish. You're going to give them an example of someone else on the team and something that they did that embodied what we're all about. We're also going to go ahead and say, what core values do you believe are important, but perhaps we haven't fully embodied them yet. And this is stage 1. I also took this from masterclass.com, but Jana Lee helped a ton. You want to check them out, masterclass.com. There's an exact link in this specific presentation. Stage 2 of defining your core values is you have to refine into a thematic clusters. So you can pick and choose themes of what your core values are all about. You can color code it in maybe an idea board or sticky notes where you're gonna refine everything that you have done in the brainstorming session, and you're gonna make sure that you filter out the things and start refining it until you get less and less and less. Okay. The stage 3 of creating your core values is this will be on your own. You have to be with a top leader, co-founder, or yourself, the CEO. You're going to condense, select, and finalize the core values. We're going to go over a few examples that Jana Lee actually did for us. So here is creating your core values. For example, you're going to book your 1 or 2 hours with your team, and this is stage 1. Again, pre-frame ahead of time. You can use sticky notes to do the entire brainstorming and such, and give an example So for example, give me an example of someone else on the team and something that they did that embodied what we are all about. So you're gonna be in a Zoom, or you're gonna be in a round table in a boardroom with your team, and you're gonna ask them, hey, Lena, what do you think John did, or something that they did in the past, or something that they're doing that embodies what the agency is all about? And it's easier for Lena to talk about John instead of Lena talk about themselves, right? Instead of Lena talk about herself. So when you get someone else to talk about someone else, it's much easier and complimenting someone else. So for example, John is really great at handling the team or handling the internal team. They really care. They're trying to always be attentive of how we can help, how we can learn, how we can actually chime in and things like that. Okay, you write that down. Hey, John, what does Lena do that embodies what we are all about? Well, guess what? Lena is super passionate about what she does, and she helps her clients so much that she goes above and beyond. And okay, we write that down. All right. And now, what core values do you believe that are important, but perhaps we haven't fully embodied them yet? That's another question that you got to ask your team. What core values do you believe in that are important, but perhaps we haven't fully embodied them? And you're going to use a sticky notes or an idea board, all right, with sticky notes. And for instance, if you're in a remote business, you can use Miro, you can use Lucid Chart, Lucid Sparks, ClickUp, Mind Maps, and go about it. You don't have to use sticky notes if you don't have an actual in-house team. So it will look like this. This is taken by Jana. Literally, Jana did this for us. And to show us and to teach us, this will be stage 2, where we're going to start refining into thematic clusters. So thematic categories, call it like that. You see how, for instance, this sticky note is this color, this sticky note is another color. You have red, you have yellow, you have blue, for instance. And these are themes, right? So these are themes and stages that we will have. Stage 1, it could be one color. Stage 2 could be another color. Stage 3, another color. So we refine. The first stage will have way more than the second, and so on. And then the third stage, which is on your own, you're going to condense and select and finalize. This is very, very small, 5 to 10, remember. After that, you have to make sure that your team members, after you created your core values, you have to make sure that your team members eat and breathe these core values. So you're going to do something called proselytize. Proselytize is going to make sure that you're going to make sure to say it, to mark it in the board. You're going to put it in the wall. You're going to put it everywhere. You're going to start saying it, engraving it in people's head until they remember it. They continuously say it, and they say like, yeah, so we're passionate about our clients, and we always over deliver, and we know the attitude is everything. Therefore, we're going to solve this problem. You're going to say it so many times. You're going to make sure that you proselytize it until like they start saying it to their clients. Yes, here at Hustle Media, we're trying to over deliver. Or here at Hustle Media, attitude is everything. We don't know something, we're gonna figure it out, right? So is it working? Then start looking for new hires if you are knowing that you're gonna start hiring towards these core values, right? And remember, the core values is the hook. So let's go back to the vision and mission and why it's important to understand it in this triangle perspective. The triangle perspective of the entire mission and vision of your company starts with self-actualization, self-esteem, love, belonging, safety, and psychological. Right in the bottom, you'll have the psychological effect that the vision and mission does. So potentially is that they're going to be able to breed, eat, they're going to be able to procreate, create family. Safety They're going to have a home, money, vacations. They're going to be able to afford a car. Love and belonging is because they feel in a community. They feel in something. And this is where core values start. In the triangle, this is the third step from top to bottom. And this is where they start belonging to someone, to something, to an organization. When they feel empowered by the leadership, this is something that is going to help them with their self-esteem, with their esteem, being able to accomplish things, feel like kings, feel like winners, being able to have target goals and such, be liked, and so on. And the self-actualization actually comes from the vision and the mission, which is the very top of that pyramid. This is where they feel so great about them being in the organization. Okay. Here's how the how works in the strategy. So you're going to go with your teams and you're going to say this. How are you going to accomplish your mission? You're going to put together with your team and a specific objective. So given the mission and a personal goal, what target can you hit by the end of the year? So when you're hiring and you're onboarding these people, you have a scorecard. And you also have specific goals that they're going to have for themselves. You're going to put together a sheet where they're going to write down the specific goals that they're going to put by themselves. Given the mission and personal goal, what target can you hit by the end of the year? What numbers do they need to change to hit that target, right? Remember, there's only two levers: acquisition and lifetime value. What are the various strategies that you could use to accomplish that change? For instance, strategies could be improving the team, the systems, the offers, the products, the branding. Which of those potential strategies align with your vision and the mission and the core values? So if there's multiple, so which one is it? If you were to accomplish it, make the others easier, or maybe they are unnecessary. Now, what is the most important objective for your team that you must meet in your, let's say, Q1 to hit your 2023 goals, 2024 goals, 2025 goals, and so on? Those are the questions that you got to do. As a to-do list in this specific training, you're going to build your core values with your team. You're going to take about 1 or 2 hours. You're going to meet with them. You're also going to finalize your mission and vision. 1 to 3 hours you're going to put into this. Make sure that it's specific, clear. You can actually read the book, Start With Why, or watch some YouTube summaries or YouTube videos about it so that you have a clear vision and mission. And share the 2023, 2022, 2024, whatever year you're actually watching this, a strategic pathway with your team. And it's going to be about 30 minutes. And then this is where it gets a little bit more detailed. We're going to go over this in other modules. We create objectives with each team member, such as objective key results. Every single team member have to have an objective. And remember how crucial is to over-communicate everything and become better at communication every single time. That's about it, guys. This is crucial for your hiring. Make sure that you know this and apply this. And I hope that you liked it. If you do, then let us know what you think. And also, if you have questions, also let us know all the time.